Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Ration Review, where every Wednesday and Saturday I bring you a review of different types of survival rations that I think might be fun. Today we are actually doing a snack pack, aka I went ahead and went through several different MREs, combined sweet, combined savory snacks to see which ones are the best. I kind of wanted to go through them and see how they range from different MRE to MRE. I had an MRE, and I think it was the last one that I posted about. It was old, and it had raisins in it, and I was highly disappointed that that was the snack or the little treat that I got with it. So I went ahead and pulled 5, so we're going to go ahead and go through those now. Alright guys, we are here with our 5 snacks. We have the Toaster Pastry Chocolate Chip, we have the Candy Toffee Rolls, Oatmeal Cookie, we have an older pound cake, I believe it's from 98 if what the guy told me is correct, and then we have Jalapeno Cashews. So I want to start with this one. I love Pop-Tarts. I assume that's what this is, I'm not too sure. They had the choice between the Toaster Pastry Chocolate Chip and the strawberry, and I went ahead and went with the chocolate chip. This particular one I would assume would be in a breakfast type menu. It has 6 grams of fat, let's see, for 36 grams of carbs and 3 grams of protein. This has a lot of carbs in it, which is good when, like I've said before, when you're out in the field. So let's go ahead and open that up. And I'm actually going to get a plate to put all this on because this is crumbly. Alright, we got a plate. So let's go ahead and take this out. It is broken, but that is okay. Alright, that looks like a Pop-Tart with chocolate drizzle on it. You can see the real chocolate pieces in it. So before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and take everything out. This is Candy Toffee Rolls. I asked the guy who ran the surplus store when I was there if he knew if he ever had this. He was a former Marine. He was really, really nice. And he said he had never tried these ones. So I assume they're Tootsie Rolls. So let's take a look and see what they actually are. Wow, okay, so they actually are Tootsie Rolls, and when I said that they were Tootsie Rolls, I was not expecting to actually get a Tootsie Roll in this. But I love Tootsie Rolls, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and open up the Jalapeno Cashews. I love spicy foods. I love cashews, so this should be good. Something salty to balance out the sweet of all these snacks. And they do give you a pretty decent size for cashews. As everyone knows, nuts are really high in fat, and what we assume are the proportion of what we eat is really not what we should be eating according to the nutrition facts. So this one is actually 7.3 grams of fat, 6.6 grams of carbs, and 2.6 grams of protein. This right here, you can't smell it, but I can. This has a very strong jalapeno spice to it. So these are probably going to be really, really good. The next one is Oatmeal Cookie. This is actually broken up inside. I can feel already that it's going to be super crumbly. So I'm going to do my best to try to remove it without all the mess. This one has 15 grams of fat, 34 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of protein. I'm not actually a huge fan of oatmeal cookies. Just something about the texture. They're very dry. They're just not my favorite. Wow, this is a mess. This one did not hold up so well. As you can see, it looks like a bowl of cereal. Like you could pour some milk in there and it would, you know, be a cereal. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take out a piece of this. Maybe take out this other large piece. There's no way that I can get all that on here without making a complete mess. So we'll just go ahead and try that part. Last but not least, the pound cake. He said this one was from, I believe, 1998. He said it was still good to eat, so we're going to listen to him. I mean, he is a Marine, so you can't be telling a lie. So let's see here. This one has a little pack on the back, a fresh pack to keep it fresh. This feels very, very moist. Like, I don't know if you can see any type of moisture on top. It feels very soft, like a cake. Feels like it's going to be super moist whenever I eat it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and try this out. Let's go ahead and start with the chocolate chip pastry. I don't think I can call it a Pop-Tart because it's technically not a Pop-Tart. So we have here, we do, like I said, have the chocolate drizzle on top. We have the crumbly pastry with a chocolate filling. Hopefully that's not blurry that you can see that. It looks like it has a good amount of chocolate in the middle. And then on top, we do have our chocolate chips that are melted into the pastry. So let's try this one. Okay, guys, this one has a chewy texture on the inside. That chocolate is not, it's not like you bite into it and it just chews really smoothly in your mouth. It kind of gives you some resistance when you're chewing it. It reminds me of something that I've had before in my life. I can't place it right now, but it's like bringing back childhood memories of something that I ate. It almost has like a graham cracker type flavor in the crust. I'm not too sure if they put a cinnamon type graham cracker flavor. But overall, this actually is a 9 out of 10 for me. I really liked this. I like the chewiness mixed with the crunchiness of the I assume the graham cracker pastry on it. It has a very good chocolate flavor to it that I like as well. It doesn't taste cheap like what I would assume that it would be for looking like an off-brand Pop-Tart. So this one actually gets a 9 out of 10 from me. I actually really like that. I'm going to eat this last piece before we move on. Okay, guys, we're going to balance out the sweetness with a little bit of salty. I'm going to try a couple of these jalapeno cashews. Let's go ahead and get a couple, see if we can see any. Yes, it has like a really light dusting of jalapeno flavoring on there. If you've ever gotten like jalapeno chips, especially like jalapeno kettle cooked chips, you know when you take them out of the bag, they have this very light coating, almost this very light dusting of flavor on them. Very, very similar. So we're going to go ahead and try these out. So these ones create a kick in the back of your throat while you are chewing them. Almost like after you chewed them for a couple seconds, it's like the heat hits you in the back of your throat. So they do have a good jalapeno flavoring. They taste like a regular cashew. So these are actually pretty good. These would probably get an 8 out of 10 from me simply because they don't taste super, super fresh, which that could just be because maybe they're a couple years old and I just don't get that like super, super fresh taste as I would from a can that I just popped open. But overall, these are really good. The jalapeno coating is perfect on them. It's not too much. It's not too little. So this is a pretty good snack. So let's move on to the oatmeal cookie. Like I was telling you before, I don't like oatmeal cookies that much. As you can see from this one, it's crumbling. It looks dry. To me, they're just that. They're dry and crumbly and they just turn to dust in your mouth, I feel like. But we're going to try this one. You can see chunks of oatmeal throughout it. Let's give it a smell. I don't know what. Sometimes they, season these with cinnamon and such, and sometimes try to give it a different flavor. So let's see if this one smells any different than just regular oatmeal. Oh wow, this actually has a really good smell to it. Let's see about the taste. I normally like to go for a good whenever I eat a cookie, guys. You get that edge and you get about ½ an inch into the cookie, so you get that crunch mixed in with about ½ an inch of chewy goodness of that cookie. We're going to go ahead and do the same with this. Just going to go ahead and break it at that part and try this out. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as what I thought. It does have, when I was chewing it, it's very crunchy. There's really no super chewiness to it. It's mainly just a lot like a crunchy cookie. But then it had notes of cinnamon, which became stronger, almost like I put a piece of cinnamon gum in my mouth. So I had to go look. I looked at the nutrition facts and the ingredients, and cinnamon allspice is one of the top flavoring ingredients in this. So very much a cinnamon oatmeal cookie. Overall, that probably is going to give a 5 out of 10 from me. It leaves a really weird aftertaste in your mouth. But if you like oatmeal cookies, you might like that. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the Tootsie Roll. This is exactly what it is. It's in its own Tootsie Roll pack. I really thought whenever we got the toffee rolls for this, I was assuming toffee, but then I saw the chocolate flavor and I assumed like, oh, maybe it was like a toffee, like a flat piece of toffee that was, you know, smooth, but yet it was flexible, and they rolled it up into like a roll and it had a chocolate flavoring, kind of similar to this, but I really was not expecting to get a whole Tootsie Roll. I love Tootsie Rolls. I love Tootsie Pops. We know what a Tootsie Roll tastes like, but I'm going to try this one simply for the facts because it's a couple years old and I just want to see how well it held up. Alright, so it looks like it kind of melted in and became one with its box. So we're just going to tear a piece off. It feels just like a Tootsie Roll. Smells just like a Tootsie Roll, so let's go ahead and try it. Yep, it's a Tootsie Roll. Tastes just like one. I might even keep this one since it's unopened and eat it later as a snack. It does say peanut free on it, so that's a good thing. I've actually never seen them that say peanut free. Produced in a facility that does not use peanuts, tree nuts, eggs, or gluten. So if you were in the military or you were hiking and backpacking and you had an MRE, you had a peanut allergy, at least you know you'd be able to eat this. So we'll put that back. I would like to take this out, but it's completely stuck to it. So we'll just go ahead and put that to the side. And lastly, but not least, we have our pound cake. I love a very good soft cake, and I like how that broke. Let me just show you how that broke. It just kind of not falls apart in a messy way, but it's soft enough on the inside and has enough moisture that it is very easy to pull apart. It looks rather compact. With the pound cake, you have a thick little layer of crustier, I guess you could say, pound cake around the edges. So let's go ahead and try this. I'll just take off a piece of this. Let's see how it smells first. It smells kind of yeasty. I was expecting like a sweet smell. It smells more like a bread, which I assume pound cake would be a sweet bread, but not like a regular bread. So let's take a bite of this one. Okay, guys, I just took a bite of this, and as I was chewing, I got a overwhelming taste of old, like a wipe that you wipe the container with, like maybe that you would, like, you know, like an old Clorox wipe or something. So I looked at the actual packaging. It's a lemon pound cake. I guess being from 1988, if you had to eat this and if it was, you know, crap hit the fan and you're like, you have nothing to eat and you wanted something sweet, yeah, I guess you could eat this. But it does not taste good. I think it's old. I did want to try it simply for the fact that it was an older one. I mean, it's still edible. There's nothing that does not taste, it just does not taste good. Let's just say that. But if you had to, you could still eat it. So I guess he was telling the truth that you can still eat this. It is still good. But as for my favorite altogether, it's going to be the Pop-Tart. Just that chewiness mixed with the crunchiness and the chocolate, the right amount of chocolate. That's going to be my top one. Followed by, of course, the Tootsie Roll, but who can beat a Tootsie Roll? And then, besides the chocolate chip. And then it's going to be the cashews. We're going to go ahead and go with the oatmeal cookie, even though I despise oatmeal cookies. That one is going to be our fourth. And then coming in number 5, number last, sad place, is going to be the lemon pound cake. It was not my favorite, but it could be yours. Drop a comment down below with what your favorite snack is in any of the MREs that you have ever tried. be looking for my next video. I will be doing another Mountain House review, but this time it's going to be breakfast. That should be released on Wednesday or dropped to you on Wednesday. Once again, guys, please subscribe, leave me a comment. I would love to reach out to you guys, and I hope you all have a great night.